Cat, where are you going? Where you going, Cat? Don't go running off and stuff, man. I don't want to any more in this day. I'm done with this day. It's Hi. Welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hayoke empath. I just like having these little conversations. Cat, oh, gotta stop the other one. Where you going, Cat? What the heck is playing back? Holy heck. I don't want any more. My bad. Time out. That's it, Cat. You're going in until I do. Yeah, get on the sunny chair and chill out. That's why I don't have children. I'm a total doormat. I'm an empath. I'm a doormat. I just let them walk all over me. Okay, I won't put you inside. Just be cool, man. Just be cool. It's been a hard day for me. I don't know how anybody else is doing. I think I fared through it pretty well. I ended up meditating about an hour and a half, near 2 hours. So all that, I felt all that emotional roller coaster. Yesterday was so cool. Mom got to talk to Jerry. She was really excited about it. She was really excited about it. I woke up from to a text message from him. And then I read, and then it was kind of neat because, you know, like I've been talking about in my videos, I'm not the only one. I do this to share because everybody that has parents, if you don't have parents, I don't know, maybe this ain't your storyline, but on Facebook the last 12 years, all I've seen is how wonderful people's lives have been with their parents and stuff, and now their parents are getting to the point where their kids need them. See, I think that's how the circle of life goes. I think people have children, and then you take care of those children and teach those children how to be the best version of themselves, or at least aspire to be, and make their role obsolete. And then one day at the end of their life, when the parents are old and tired, then the children can return the favor. Well, some storylines don't quite play out that way, but my ideas still do, so, you know, I put myself on this path to go to the Air Force, to get a college degree, so I could get a job, so I could look, because I always knew from the moment I was 15 years old I was going to be Mom's guardian. So it just happened about 20, 25 years quicker than I planned, and shift gears and stuff, and it's hard to try and figure this stuff. I don't have kids, you know, and people always hear, oh, we don't have life instruction books on how to do this. Well, guess what? I don't got no life instruction book, and I don't get the fucking tax breaks or the benefits or all the fucking fluff that goes with it either. Fucking people that choose to have children. Fucking A, dude. Shut the fuck up. Take care of what you got. End of story. So I woke up to a text message. First, I thought it was like, you know, so and so, one of his friends from high school, his father passed away, and then another friend of his from high school was not feeling good. Stanley, don't. And so, because of stupid frickin' cancer, and his mom is by himself. And these are guys that I knew in high school too. And he said, which sucks? Damn it! That's it, you're going in. He was up going over the fence. Yeah, I didn't want you to do that at all. That's like the one thing I'm like, Cat, don't do this today. And then you did. So now this happens. There's just a stray cat running through, and everybody's all cantankerous and Virgo system. It still works. So he said, this was promised. He said, because he talked to Mom yesterday and stuff. And then he said, which made me think about how it must suck for you. And while I want to support you, I don't know how I can do that since I no longer trust trust you with the details of my life. I guess we can talk about mom and the weather, but that's as far as it goes. Open to suggestions as to other superficial topics. And I misunderstood, because all I read into that was it, which sucks, which made me think about how it must suck for you. And while I want to support you, I don't know how I can do that. That is what, and so I said, fair enough. And then I was like, here's how you can do it. I'm like, is this the day? Is this the day it's gonna pop and happen for old Marjo? I said, fair enough. I'm trying to get someone that isn't using their VA loan. I can't use mine because my house in Omaha went upside down 18K. That's what happened when people don't have experience. Then just freaking, all real estate agents are freaking glorified. They freaking print off paper and shit. They don't do nothing for me. It's all that shit's coming down, thank God. My house in Omaha went upside down 18K. I can assume one though. So if someone, and I would pay for all the fees. So if somebody like, it's like $500, $1,000. It's like I could pay the right, pay that right now. I said, if you aren't using yours, you could help me buy us a place and I can pay all the cost. Then sign it over. That's how you could help us since you asked. Yeah, it sucks, but she is worth every second and I wouldn't trade her for the world. And then I said, I always like so-and-so's dad. And then sent him the link of the place I want to get for me and mom. And then I showed him about a show that's good to watch. And then he said, I've been willing to help you in the past. I'm not willing to help you in this way. And then I was like, I misunderstood, my bad. Have a good birthday. Because his birthday is tomorrow. And then he just was going on to tell me about myself. So, but that's cool. I got to reach out to his friend and let him know that when I get to Reading, because I'll get there, whether he helps me or not, I'll get there. I'll get there. And then when I do, I'll be sure and make plenty of, because I'm used to cooking in large mass quantities and big, cooking for big, huge groups, because Friday night coffees and, working in Corp USA, there's always food days and shit. And I just like to make extra for everybody, because food is, food for the soul. And I'll be able to make extra and then bring it over to his folks' house, because they don't live too far from that place that I'm trying to get for me and Ma. And so that's when, just keep trying to think of the next right thing to do. Anyway, I didn't do a whole lot of research today because of this stuff and stuff. But I did write something down, because I freaking don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. They rock my world. The world's gonna be okay. Where we go, when we go all. We are all connected. Shared consciousness. We're all the same. We're all in this together. The people that are tearing stuff up, they're just the little babies that are freaking throwing tantrums, and they're just fucking. I just see a bunch of little kids throwing tantrums in the street, And if they just use those energy to freaking work out or do something to, make their lives better, then they'd feel better about themselves and they wouldn't be raging in the street. But they're about to burn themselves out. No big deal. Anyway, so I was drinking. I was not drinking the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid on number 2 on their video earlier today. There was a slide at the 21-minute mark and 24-second, 21-minute colon 24-second mark on that slide, because they were talking about all the creepertons in Disney. And And the slide was, did I get a screen grab of that? That'd probably be weird if I didn't get a screen grab of that. But on the positive note, I got to have a conversation with the neat lady who watches my tube that actually lived in the same town, probably a mile and a half from where Mom lived in Anderson years back. Well, Mom lived there, hadn't lived there. She's been with me since 2008. And she was there after, but it's like, see, same freak tribe. It's like people that you know, that end up in the same places geologically that you end up with. It's a trip. So that was a positive. So I mean, today was just like I said when it was on. I say it was emotional roller coasters. It was like up, down, up, down. Yeah, just kidding. Yay, just kidding. So what do you do? There's a couple people I got to connect with this week, you know, and I have a feeling that my life, I know my life is going to open. Yeah? What the? You got tomatoes? Tomatoes and like my weed? You know, I thought this was a snake from downstairs. Oh, yeah? You don't like snakes? No. I don't like I don't like them either, but I know that kid helps. We'll talk later. Yeah, that's all I need right now. Do it up, pray it up. You're so good. I can't wait to have my own garden. The neighbors, they have a congregation someplace out in Colorado. She's from Brazil. They bring me. Oh my god. It's like little palms of sun. I freaking love these things. I'm not gonna eat them because I'm freaking talking to myself and I just walked away from alive. But it would be rude to not accept this graciously or try to. And these are good in scrambled eggs. So, always the abundance is coming. She's gonna pray for us, for me, and a place for Mom. Because we got to go. We got places to be. The shift is happening. The shift is happening in a lot of people's lives. This was kind of a bummer, but it was kind of cool. Let's see if it's still here. Come here, buddy. I don't get to see them often in their entirety. See, when I was a little girl, I always hung out with the elders. Oh. I always hung out with the elders, and they would we're all old men, we're always scientific. So, and they would teach me the difference between old men that shouldn't do things too. They're always taught me of the appropriateness and inappropriateness of gentleman behavior, and I just dropped it. I'm not going to find it now. Confounded. And I don't really want to move around that much because it's a dragonfly. I think it kind of caught a breeze, and actually, but it was a dragonfly. It had transitioned onto its next incarnation. See, that's the thing, is like, you know, that's why you shouldn't kill bugs, because that very well could be yourself when you die and come back to life. Yeah, that's how we're all connected. Ain't that a trip? Yeah. We're just having the same experience. We just have it in different aspects of the little of the mirror ball, and how, as I see it, is how I reflect it. Am I reflecting it from a mirror that's at the top of the mirror ball, like at a high vibrational frequency that's going to reflect the sun and the joy and all the goodness? Or am I going to hang out in the lower vibrational frequencies on the underside of the dark side of the mirror ball and reflect the shit that's on the floor. Where all the money and nasty and gross stuff is. What am I gonna choose today? And every day I wake up and I try to do the right thing. That's just the right thing for. Because all moms, she's like, she know. Because I got busy and I used my anxious energy today. And instead of, because ordinarily before, when big things like this happen, when I was more in fear and less in faith, what I would do is, I'm like, F it, I'm just gonna go get a bottle and drink about it. And then, like, I'd feel crappy and I'd get nothing done tomorrow and all that stuff. But I realized from having so many daily disciplines and meditating and stuff like that, that I don't have to act like that anymore. And that I can move on. And everybody, because everybody's moving around right now. Everybody's moving around. And so I can move around and go, and so I was able to clean upstairs in the one part and just be, it's clean, it's clean. I did all the floors, did all, the floorboards, the basins, and then tomorrow on the other side I'll take all that stuff and bring it down, so then, and clean all it upstairs, and then I don't gotta go upstairs no more, and that's one thing I can mark off the list, and I'll just make a list of all the things I gotta do. And hopefully I'll be able to come across people that I'll ask their guidance and their recommendation, and if they've done things like this, and and people are helping. I mean, there's people that want to help me, and I just keep, yeah, I'll take whatever. I take handouts. I'm a IT, I'm a work from home daughter, and I got all, so it's, I don't think of what I do, I don't think of it as a handout, because I think of it as an energetic match. Because here, you got a problem in your life, email me, straightpeoplelikerainbows2@gmail.com. You got a problem with your computer, I can help. You got a problem with, you got a mechanical issue with your car, tell me what kind of sound it's making. Where do you feel it? Do you feel it in the gas pedal? Whatever. I mean, I could troubleshoot anything mechanical. I got all these. Anyway, tired of talking about that same stuff. So when I was reading or watching Don't Drink the Kool-Aid's little talk earlier, they had a that's what I did. I was gonna grab and see if I did a screen grab of that. Yep, here it is, right here, right there, at 33. I haven't looked it up how I wanted to, because I wanted to look up the Latin Deus. I didn't take the opportunity to do that. I will do that later. But when I was thinking about this, because it's related to Disneyland, and I was thinking about, how the storyline, because there's so many storylines. Let me preface this. There's so many see, because for everybody that lives on this earth, everybody has a frame of reference. And from their astrology, it has taken them on this, like, obstacle course through life, a Rube Goldberg machine of life with all these ups and downs. Well, at every one of these occasions, the physics line up where either it's going to work or it's going to not, for your highest favor or not. Either you're going to come from spirit or from ego. And for a long time, people have been coming from ego, but it's been working out for them, because people made a lot of money. But there's no spirit in that, so people are finding out, the age of Aquarius and whatnot. I downloaded a cool song earlier today by Aquarius Apocalyptic by Stoplight Observations. It's a good song. And that's what's happening is the old way of doing things is over. The old 3D world is over. The whole military industrial complex is over. They've created so much office space and so much, I do talks about when I was in, like, back in 2000, that every year that the office, the aid shop that I got in, there were like 3 people that worked upstairs. The support personnel, the big wigs that never even looked out the big window, because the really important people, they were never up there. They're always gone talking about nothing important, because we never it made it we had very we had a hard time getting the shit we needed. Like, I'm talking like oil filters and stuff like that. It was a hassle. It was so radar. It was so radar. And like, hey, do you know someone at this base? Do you know someone at that base? It's all deals and stuff like that, because the processes, and then none of them are made to work. They're made to impede the progress of others and to make a bunch of rich old white dudes richer. And the jig is up. And so back then, every year they would get. I would look at the invoice. I'm like, where the invoice? I always look what's in the plastic sack, like cars, and I always look at all the paper. I'm looking at all the details. It's just how my mind works. I'm looking at everything. I'm trying to figure it all out. Give me all the information so I can, you know. And they so for 3 people that were hardly up in an office upstairs, because the light was always up. Because it's like, go talk to so and so, and then look up. Nope, they're not there. Whoever you need gives you permission is never there. They're never around. That's why nothing ever gets done. And every year they'd get freaking tens and thousands of dollars of cherry wood furniture. I'll never, because we'd have to unload it. The truckloads of it, like big old huge, like moving truck, and because the smell, all of it, and all the wrapping and stuff. Just oh, look at all the new furniture. That's where all the stuff goes, folks. It's all glitz and glamour. That's why poor people just keep getting poorer. Because all the rich people just, keep marketing and changing their labels, and then changing, handing around millions and billions of dollars to literally like change the signs on buildings and things like that. It's so peculiar. But don't give it to people directly. No, don't do that. And all the, the developers could go in and make these properties reasonably priced, but they come from a place of ego. So they haven't done that, and they want all their buddies and their friends to freaking live in their high rises and stuff like that. But what they're finding out is all their friends and their buddies are doing all this pervy shit, and so that's all coming out. It's 2020, the year of clear vision, and that 2 eagles made me think of an eagle in nature. Because people use a lot of symbolism. I'm Native American, so I'm always looking at symbols and animal totems, and because it's very similar to how an animal totem is just very similar to how an animal behaves. It's just how people perceive that animal is what is kind of a trip. Is that people don't ever watch animals. They don't ever watch animals and just observe, so they don't really get. But I grew up watching freaking Mutual Omaha and just watching all those shows and stuff like that, and all that. So I can't watch with like the seals getting eaten. That's too hard on me. I can't. The older I get, I'm like, no, can't. I know how this ends. Can't watch it. And people are just like, I love that. Well, I guess you're newer you've had less incarnations than I have, and I've seen more of how humans are nasty in real life and hurt people and harm people, and I know who those people are, and other people are figuring out who those people are thanks to pages like Don't Drink the Kool-Aid and stuff like that, because and kids have been disappearing forever, and I was in another thing that made it click for me is they had a picture, and I've seen this picture a gazillion times, and it was like the first ticket at Disneyland, and it says federal tax, cut tax something 90 taxable something 91.6, and that 91 cents something, or I can't remember what that top those words said, but the bottom it said 9-cent tax. So for every dollar that Disney spent, Uncle Sam got 9 cents. So that's why the prices have always been high. So, because I remember like looking at the tickets and like they were like $55, $65 for an all day pass. You can go, but that was like in 1986. So I can imagine what do they I think the last time I looked, they're like $125. I don't even know what they are now. I know somebody that's at Disney World right now, living her dream, looking at, hanging out in Hogwarts World, but I don't think I'd have any fun having to wear a mask and all that shit. Earthquakes all over, 5.4 just now. Kermadec Island region. Uh, so that's what I'm like. That whole paradigm was set up to freaking be kid catcher. See, because one of the first movies I ever saw was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I know all about the kid catcher. Kid catchers try to get me, and what happens is a lot of times is like, you know, what those perverts do is they create so much cognitive dissonance is they make you think that you're crazy and that you're the one that with the problem, and it's in every paradigm and all the creeps, in psychology, so they all work together. Oh yeah, there's, that didn't happen, and sheriffs, it's all the creepertons and all the police stations and all of them, they've all had their own little society of creepy creepertons, and thanks to Don't Drink the Kool-Aid, someone I know posted an article that the Washington Post, who is owned Amazon, owned by Amazon bozos, Bozos the clown, not the fun kind like me. Dude's a doofus. I could not even hang out with him. I could not. I don't even. Hey Marge, you want to come out and meet the owner of frickin' Amazon? No, I'm good. That's what I'd say. I'll pass. I don't need to know that little guy. He's a little guy. I'll pass. I know plenty of little guys like him. Plenty of little guys just like him. Little rat dudes. I'm gonna take all I can. I'm gonna take all the cheese. I'm gonna get all the cheese. I'm gonna take all the cheese for myself. I know how it all is. It sucks. It's stupid. Anyway, so it's all like it was like one hand washes the other. One evil hand's been washing the other, and because the channel and Keegan too. Keegan's pointing out a lot of the creepertons too. A lot of them. It's pretty rad. It's pretty cool. It is, and there's more and more channels like it. Pocket of I like his catchphrase at the end. His catchphrase, pocket of, we're never gonna get through the apocalypse without laughter or something like that. I don't know. What is that dude's name? Planets of the Fakes live. Oh, they're live right now. Wait, no. Is that who I was talking about? No, that's not who I was talking about. That's not the same one. But I'm glad there's another live channel going on right now. Same Freak Tribe doing it all at the same time. Spreading their stuff. It is Pockets of the Future. That's the guy that has, I like his quippy, clever end of his video wrap up. I think it's cool. So, I don't know, now we're in Virgo season. I just right before I started this, I was listening to Michael, the Peace Stealers, talk, and now we're in Virgo season. Is the hit and heavy, the truths are all being revealed and stuff like that, and that I need to be reminded that I got to stay in my integrity and not try to do too much finger wagging and shit like that, that I just got things I need to do. I gotta make a list and I gotta make this thing happen, and I'd like to make it happen in 30 days, but if I do it less, then that's good too. We'll see. How long have I been running my mouth? Mom already had ice cream. Hi, Ahmad. Ahmad. See, because I've known so many people with the same name, but they say it different. So it doesn't matter really what your name is. It's how important how I say it. And people in different parts of the country say words that are so different. They mean different shit. I've been watching a lot of those forensics, those police interviews. Lots of them. Haven't even watched any fun show. That was yesterday. Today I haven't been on the interwebs much at all. I woke up this morning, made cookies, dealt with that emotional roller coaster, had a little bit one this afternoon, talked to my father figure, and then just tripped on about my day. Got stuff done. So, but what I was thinking about with the eagles, that's what eagles do in the animal totem, is that they come down and they grab the mouse, and of all the representations of what they're the people that, there's Mickey Mouse to most people is just, as what people need to understand, to most people it's just a representation of childhood. It's just a representation of dark versus light, ego, spirit, evil versus good, to kind of let kids know what's up, and that nothing is all good and stuff. But what they do is, oh, it's not real, honey, it's not real, honey. But there's the dark people, the shadow reflectors at the bottom of the mirror ball globe, that reflect the seedy, nasty shit, that put stuff in these videos so that they can attract a certain kind of demographic, a certain kind of strategic clientele, so that they can rear children for their own nasty bidding. And people, that's another thing that people say, no, that's not true. That doesn't happen. My whole life is made up of a series of best, worst case scenarios of things that people have always said, no, that doesn't happen. I had some creepy, pervy pervertin deflower me when I was 10 months old. Now the world is waking up that people are freaking doing babies. Usually a little older than that. But nonetheless, they're figuring it out anyway. And so, and because my whole life, it's happened to me. And the only reason people that, for anybody that has that commentary, put it out your mind right now, related to anyone that hangs on to their trauma, what I have to say to that is, I speak openly on things that have happened to me because I don't even energetically identify on a physical level those things that have happened in my history, because every 7 years as a cellular level we replenish and rejuvenate. So if I'm 46, so that's 6 times I've reincarnated. That's the cycle of Saturn, 7 years. The 7-year itch, Saturn, goes around, comes around, things are coming back around, And I got to learn my lessons, and now I'm ready to move on to the next chapter and see if I can do more to help other people. I'm ready to go back home to my homeland. That's what all the astrology is. People are being summoned to go home. I'm seeing other readers and stuff. People are moving. They're going to where they're going to be to help that part of the earth heal. And then when that part of the earth heals, then the rest of the world will open up into a beautiful and joyous heaven on earth. Because everybody's realizing being closed up ain't the way to be. To be open up, that's the way to be. That the source, God, good stuff, all that, we'll call it whatever you want. I don't give a crap what people call it. It's that stuff that makes you feel good, makes you feel like you want to do good for other people too, and not just for yourself. And that money doesn't matter as much, and maybe I don't need this car with this stupid logo on it because it's the same car with the different logo at half the cost. They just swap out the the stamp, the logo. I mean, they're all interchangeable, but people, it's just all silly reindeer games, man. I've been paying attention since I was a little girl, and everything's economics, reindeer game, made up game. Who's in charge and how they feel about that. Whole entire government structure, reindeer games made up by a bunch of old white dude, rich dudes on top going, no, we're going to move them over here and let's blow this part of the world up. No, let's go over here and let's say that this is a problem. This has happened and we'll create the scenario. And that people are falling like, wait a minute, the media is only saying what they're being paid to say. They're really editing a lot of stuff. And then, us little nude nerds that, work from home daughters, you know, because numbers of people like me are only going to grow. Because, the baby boomers are our generation. We got to take care of them. The Vietnam vets, what's left of them, everybody cares about. They got duped too. We got to take care of them. So we got to help make a world easier for them as much as we do the kids. See, we got to make it's like we're only as strong as a unit or whatever is only a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Well, so we got to make a world for all the weakest links instead of making one for all these really strong swinging fucking dicks at the top that are so old right now. It's like, dude, it ain't cool to be that anymore. You didn't get the memo. Misogyny's dead, man. The patriarchy is dead. It don't matter. It ain't cool that you killed so many people for oil. Probably won't want to tell people that so much anymore. So the world is a changin'. That is for sure. So sit back, hang on, let go, do whatever you want, enjoy the show. Is that all I was going to talk about? Oh yeah, a gal I know posted that the Washington Post, I think it was, that posted an article about what is QAnon. I'm like, okay, what is QAnon? Where we go one, we go all. We're all connected. It's the people that are freaking tired of the shit that, people have said that hasn't happened in life for years and years and years. But in the reality of the situation, it's happened, Slavery exists still today. People farming exists still today, And it happens, at the... I knew a guy when I worked the last W-2 I got was from... I worked with a dude that, worked at the freaking American Red Cross, and he would tell me he would just get disgusted about the stuff that he found out when he worked there. And that's the thing, is it's all of them. It's every place. It's all of them, because I put myself on purpose to work at these huge companies to see what, and all the people are the same. The pervs are still there. A lot of them are in marketing, a lot of them are in sales, a lot of them travel around, like to buy the ladies and young gents drinks and slip. So if you want to, if people want to find out the history of the serial nasties, a lot of them are, follow the, and if people start thinking about seeing patterns, they're going to be like, oh my god, my dad was there every time this happened, and they're going to start that's what Virgo season is people are going to start figuring out weird shit, stuff that is going to that just is going to break their psyche, that they're just, people can't deal with, because as you can see, as what's going on in Portland, people just can't deal with their own emotions about shit. I mean, they're straight up literally freaking kicking each other's ass, just being stupid baby boy bitches. I can just fighting against each other, but that's why I called the talk what I called today. Is Mom used to say that is where is my other page? There it is. Get it out of your system, because I'd have so much energy. I would drive her crazy. Mom, and I'd be bombard her with questions. And she just didn't know the answer to questions and stuff like that, so she'd get really frustrated. So I always go play outside. So I always you find that the old dudes working on freaking bicycles for all the neighbor kids and stuff like that, you know. So I'm a pretty good judge of character. I've been in a lot of different areas my whole entire life, and the creeps are all the same, and it don't matter. It don't. That's what people need to start understanding is don't go by looks. Don't go by how people look to determine who the creepy creepertons are. Don't go by people's sex. Don't go by people's gender. Go by their feeling. And if they remind you of other creepy things, like, if you've been at places and in other places in your life and you've been around other creepy situations, see, that's the thing is people don't know what it's like to be around creepy creepertons because you always didn't listen to your gut, and now people are going to find out, keep getting in trouble. And so it's like, oh, they're like that, oh my god. And then it's like, look how they dress, look at, start people need to start putting pictures. Okay, look at, who they endorse, look who they work for, look who they support, look who, in pictures over the years at parties, who are they standing next to in pictures, and start paying attention to who's hanging out with who and who's really been doing what. And you start seeing a picture that becomes clear. And all it has to do is make sense to most people, and then people will create a reality based on what makes sense to them. So people like the legends that are moving out of LA right now, and their reasoning is because their $82,000+ home isn't big enough for their family of four. I mean, that's a little greedy. That's a little gluttonous. And she's already under rapid fire daily, from what I understand from her indiscretions, from I don't know what kind of mind altering substance you would need to be on to say the things that she did years ago. And people say, oh, well, they're family people. People don't act like that. You know, look at old Maxwell, Maxine. She's in you see her popping her head out in a picture at old Chelsea Clinton's wedding. I mean, they all hang out together. It's all the truths are coming out. It's all truth always comes out. That's why I just don't even bother. Don't even bother try to be a liarton right now, because you're liable to catch on fire. The combustion and stuff like that, because the energy ain't no joke. So try to just do things on even keel. Don't burn bridges. Turn the other cheek. It's going to be a turn the other cheek week. Turn the other cheek week. I'll just be, I got a couple trips to the dump I'll be taking, and I'll just keep trying to do the next right thing and just live one day at a time. Because that's all the days that we got. It's just today. So do the best you can.